Hey everybody, it's Goose the Grey again with another Challenger Tier 5v5 team game. It is going to be Shen Ulti versus Tifir Suoli Rep, whatever that may mean. For the remainder of the game, I will simply refer to them as Blue and Red Team for simplicity's sake. To be honest, it is a lot of work trying to memorize a name like that and then keeping it up throughout an entire game. So I'm just going to stick to Blue and Red Team, even though that might be a little bit repetitive. It's definitely going to be easier. So, looking across the map here, we have very defensive setups from both teams just spreading across. The only thing that's a little dangerous here is the Karma Caitlyn setup in this bottom brush. They may look to go over to that blue buff, start a little bit of trouble. But the rest of the team, Orianna, Elise, Renekton, pretty careful. Then Lucian, Gragas, Thresh, Amumu, and Rengar. It's the standard defense setup. You cover all of your jungle entrances and just sit there waiting for the jungle buffs to spawn. I will rearrange the icons real quick. Oh, Lucian, this is not where you want to go. But there's the Piltover Peacemaker. The Q comes out of Karma as well. And Lucian is pretty slow right now. He's already down to 200 HP, but this is where they should stop. Under 200 HP, 150 about on him. The Piltover Peacemaker plus another Karma Q would land. That could spell death, but that's going to mean Lucian has to back off right away. And this is going to enable Caitlyn and Karma to actually mess around a bit with Amumu at this early jungle start. Finalize. Moving around the icons, there we go. Gragas versus Orianna in the mid lane. In top, we have Renekton versus Rengar. Orianna and Gragas really going at it. The Ignite comes out, the Barrier comes out as well. That's going to be first blood in favor of Gragas, though. He made that happen. And that's not what you want as an Orianna. She was a little overconfident, I guess, going for that 1v1 trade. Only had the shield, I believe, actually. No, she had the command attack, but it's just not good enough at level 1. Orianna gets a lot stronger once you have that dissonance to combo, especially since it slows down the enemy, and Gragas is a melee champion, so that would have been really nice. And now with Gragas and Amumu here, Elise is in a lot of trouble. That's not where you want to be. She's already very low, has to get over the wall here, flashed over. Both flashes follow, and now she's surely gonna go down here. Sadly to Amumu. If that kill had gone to Gragas, that would have been devastating. A double buff on Gragas, plus a blue on an Amumu, that is not what you want to happen. But this means 2-0 in favor of the red team. 500 gold advantage for them right now. And we'll see what they can do with that as the game keeps going. Gragas already with a kill and an assist. Picked up a second Thorn's Ring. All Orianna was able to get was a ward and another health potion. So she's definitely behind in that lane right now. Hook comes out. Death Sentence not quite connecting onto Caitlyn, but a little bit of trading coming back from Lucian. Thresh, of course, went for that Doran's shield, wants to mitigate as much damage as possible. Is not going to have as much gold income as Karma in the exchange, but he's looking for kills. He's looking to sustain in that lane, do his job, just hook and flay and stand on top of the enemies. The hook lands onto Karma, doesn't follow it up with the flay. There's the flay now later. Does trade a little bit of damage, and the mid laner's going at it again, and here's Amumu. Orianna just not doing well here. She always thinks she can win the fights, but Gragas once again 1v1ing here. Elise in the bot lane misses the cocoon, and now Lucian in a lot of trouble, uses the barrier, is not going to be able to run away. The red buff from Elise was enough. Of course, slowing you down massively. It's not what you want to have to happen. Not what you want to have happen to you. Sorry, for some reason my tongue is tied in knots right now. It's been a long day. Either way, we now also have Orianna with 2 Doran's Rings. Gragas picked up an amplification to him on top of that. The only good thing is that despite his kills, he hasn't been able to really make it count on the CS front. He hasn't been able to build up a huge CS advantage, and now after Lucian died, he picked up a second Doran's Blade, but he lost about 10 CS in his lane right now. He needs to come back from that. Top lane trades a little back and forth, both of them fairly even. It's like 28 to 23 CS. Both of them with a bunch of sustain, so I'd expect both of them to stay there fairly long, even if they get a little lower. They can still do. And it's really going to come down to jungle pressure. Renekton doing better in this early trading, but Rengar definitely has a very good chance in that lane as the game keeps going. Overall now, 1-3 kills. Gold is dead even though, and here's Amumu again. They're trying to get that Orianna. The bandage shots lands. Orianna very low, has to flash away. The red buff still slowing her down though. Gragas may pick up a third kill here. Yes, he does with that body slam. And this is just not a mid lane that is in favor of the blue team here. Now, Orianna still has a CS advantage, but this time around, Gragas is still at high enough HP that he can stick in the lane and just CS a little bit. safely for himself, catching up on that CS advantage. Actually, he goes for another 1v1 and takes Elise really, really low. Elise has to get away here. Repels over to the Wraiths, is going to be safe. That's not a good sign. Gragas already doing so much damage. Double Dorns plus that Amtone doing huge amounts of work for him. He really likes that. Amumu actually chasing Elise off of her. Wraiths still sticking around. There's a smite out of Amumu, steals that away from her. Elise not getting any of that. Gragas and Orianna now, even CS, bot lane even CS, top lane 8 CS ahead, and Amumu is still there. Again onto Orianna. Now he gets stunned though, and a lot of tower hits land onto him. He's really low. Elise goes down though to Gragas. Gragas picking up his 4th kill of the game, and now Orianna wasn't even able to pick up Amumu. That's a 4th kill in that mid lane. It is now actually the 5th. It is 5-2-1 in favor of the blue team. Only 800 gold in their favor because it's always 2 people killing 2 people. But that assist gold and that gold on one specific person is just devastating. Right now, the gold difference in the mid lane is 1,300 gold, almost 1,200 gold. As the game keeps going, that will only get more as the death sentence lands bot lane. The flay comes out as well. A lot of damage onto Caitlyn. Very nice trades here. If they can keep that up, there's surely going to be sooner or later a CS advantage in favor of Lucian. Caitlyn went back, picked up that Ram Scepter. She does have that kill advantage. So for now, the lane is in her favor. See how long that lasts because the death sentences keep hitting. And now she's really, really low. The barrier coming out, and unluckily, Lucian stepped into a trap. Was not able to follow that up. And Thresh, chasing on his own then, actually got so low that he got taken out by Caitlyn with a nice pult over Peacemaker. She gets away with about 8 HP. Thresh flashed after her, trying to get the last auto attack in, and then it didn't do enough damage. And Caitlyn still had her barrier. She used her flash and just managed to survive all of that. Amumu now in the bot lane. Might be looking for a dive onto Karma. Wouldn't be the best of ideas, I think. I'm pretty sure Karma would be able to survive that. She still has her flash. She has a nice shield. She has a nice heal. It's generally not a good idea to dive her. We look at the items. Gragas now picked up a Chalice of Harmony, whereas Orianna went for a 3rd Dorn ring. So she's really looking for early HP and early AP, trying to survive those mid lane brawls. They've just been consistently going at it, and so far, the red team's always been the one to come out ahead. Here's Caitlyn back in the lane. We're going pretty low there. It's kind of risky. In top lane, really, just a mirror match almost. Both of them with a Giant's Belt. And then Rengar still has a Dorn's Blade on top, so he has theoretically the item advantage right now. But he doesn't have boots, with which Renekton does, so it's pretty even between the two. Another hook lands onto Caitlyn, and there's no Karma around right now. The Fly comes in as well. Caitlyn already down very low again, and here's Elise though. Lucian's still very low, takes a Lantern, but Elise gonna get that kill there. It's 3-5 now. Elise really doing work. That was a very nice gank. And she already had the nice gank earlier as well. So she's 1-2-1 now. 23 CS. Amumu 1-0-1, of course. Didn't die twice, I think, as Elise did. With 32 CS. So he's ahead for now. We'll see how that works as the game keeps going. The red team has to be careful because they're actually 300 gold behind, despite being 2 up in kills. And that can be really deceptive. If you get greedy because of such a thing, you can very quickly lose your advantage. A lot of more punching back and forth in the top lane. Nothing much gonna happen there though. It's like a battle of the giants. Both of them pound away at one another. Actually, I may have to eat my words as the two keep trading. The dominance actually being used there by Renekton. Rengar just gonna walk away, use his ultimate as well. A flash out in the bot lane, away from the bandage toss out of Amumu, and top lane still going at it. They ignite this time, coming around onto Rengar and Renekton, both of them using their abilities, and they're gonna back off again. Both of them pretty low. Either one got an edge in a quick skirmish. That could mean death. Renekton does look like he's gonna back off though. I expect Rengar to do the same. Another death sentence does not land on Caitlyn, but the culling comes out, and Elise is still sitting in that bush, demolishes Lucian, and now Thresh is still all the way at the front. The ultimate came out of Amumu, but that was while Elise was repelled. It didn't actually hit her, and now Amumu face tanking that Elise. Lucian luckily got away from that. Amumu still wants blood. Everyone gonna back off. Everyone gonna survive. That was pretty close though, and very risky. That could have easily gone the wrong way because Elise was sitting in that bush. The red team wasn't expecting that anymore. Decided to engage, and then all of a sudden she took away 75% of Lucian's health out of nowhere. And if they hadn't reacted correctly, and Amumu, you know, tried to protect Lucian, Thresh flayed the other two back, Karma and Caitlyn, so they couldn't get into the fight. And just nice play there to protect Lucian from going down. We go back to the farming game. And the punching game up in the top lane. Nothing much more gonna happen. Just been same old, same old. Orianna picked up a Chalice of Harmony as well, and now the junglers both going for the spirits of the ancient golems. So they're going to have that. Gragas, meanwhile, made his way to the top lane. A lot of damage onto Renekton. There is the Ignite and the explosive cast. Renekton surely going to go down here. The question is who will get the kill? Gragas does. In my opinion, he has enough kills right now. He needs to get his other teammates just as fed, and then the entire game will be a lot easier for them. But now he is 5-0-1. Rengar got the assist as well, so he's going to be able to finish his Sunfire Cape soon. He's going to be quite content with that. The game keeps going, and we look across the board. It's 3-6 in kills, 15.5k to 15.6k in gold, so it almost couldn't be closer concerning that. But it is still 3 kills in favor of the red team. However, gold is even, as we mentioned, and that's because of the 2 kills and the assist on Caitlyn. She's only 4 CS behind. Then there's a 15 CS lead in mid lane. And the gold item, of course, on Karma that already racked up close to 300 gold, whereas Thresh has only gotten about 120 with his. He, of course, started with a Doran's Shield, so he didn't have the gold generation early on. Karma had it for much longer already. Was able to make that count for herself. Picked up the Sightstone, whereas Thresh still only has the Doran's Shield. That's going to make Karma a little tankier. She's really going to like that. And the sustain, of course, of the Nomad's Medallion, really nice for her as well. Going to be quite happy. Bloodthirster is almost done for Caitlyn, whereas Lucian only has that longsword and probably going to go for the Trinity Force. He picked up, he already has the Vamp Scepter, and he's going to go for a Trinity Force with that longsword, probably building towards the Phage as soon as possible. Gragas now. Gragas is doing the right thing, though. Well, semi. He has to make something happen here. The Death Sentence lands, and Gragas is there. The Flake comes out as well. Karma in a lot of trouble. There's no way she can survive this. This time around, the kill goes on to Lucian. That's what needs to happen. And Orianna, meanwhile, picked up her blue buff, so she wasn't even actively pushing the lane anymore. Gragas didn't lose quite as many CS, but now that's a call to move for Dragon. Very nicely done here by the red team. They take out the support in the bottom lane. Gragas is still sitting around there, taking out the pink ward. He knows where Caitlyn is. There's a ward over in that river, spotting out Orianna and Elise right now, while the rest of the team just takes down Dragon safely. And now they can re-engage onto Elise. The Death Sentence landed. The Shockwave comes out. It's not going to be enough. Elise repels up into the air. As soon as she comes down, she will be dead. No, oh, maybe. That explosive cast over the wall, actually. Thresh is in a lot of trouble. Orianna going to pick that one up. Can Lucian return the kill? The flash came out of Orianna, but Lucian is still chasing. He will not be able to go any further than that, though. So that was a 1-for-1 exchange, but Dragon was picked up. And that is the flash and the barrier out of Orianna once more. Of course, Thresh also flash barrier, flash ignited. So trade of summon is there. But Dragon in favor of the red team. They're now 1,200 gold ahead. It's 8-4 in kills at the 14-minute mark. This top lane is still just going at it. This is where the directed camera will always go, because they're constantly pounding on one another, but nothing's going to happen regardless. Both of them almost have their Sunfire Cape done. And after that, maybe, because, I mean, it's extra damage. At the same time, it makes it attack you. But, yeah, they just bash away at one another. 30 CS lead now in the mid lane. Orianna over Gragas. Of course, Gragas has been roaming a lot. He's 6-0-2 and gave another kill over to Lucian as well. So he's going to be quite happy with himself despite being behind a bit in CS. He's about 1,400 gold ahead of this lane. Bot lane CS even. Support CS pretty much even. Jungler, Amumu was about 10 CS ahead. Top laners are dead even. But now Elise was also down in that bot lane. There was a ward in the Tribush that spotted her out. So she is just going to back away, back to her golems. Gragas was also down there. That, you know, this is what I like about Gragas right now. He knows that he had an early advantage. And ever since he had that, he's just been roaming. He's made a kill happen top, he's made a kill happen bot. He needs to keep doing this. That's actually something almost happened in top lane. Renekton's pretty low. Actually goes back in onto Rengar. Rengar is going to win out on the trade, though. I don't know why he would do that. Rengar might be able to finalize the kill here. Not yet, but he still might dive the tower. He still has his flash up. So does Renekton. So I'm not quite sure if that would be a great idea, especially as Orianna has made her way up there. And this could be a deceptive bait. There's the command protect. And now Rengar going in there. Rengar actually getting into the shockwave. He's going to get pulled back. Oh my god, he manages to sustain himself back up with his, excuse me, what was it called? The battle roar. And then flashing away from... That was really nicely done. Can't believe he actually managed to survive that. This explosive cast comes out on the bot lane. Another barrel hits on the Karma. She's below half HP. Not more gonna happen though. There are 4 members of the red team here. They need to make something happen. Orianna's pushing mid. They just almost killed Rengar top, but Rengar stuck around, whereas Renekton went back. So Rengar's still pushing that lane. And they still have 4 members down here. They need to make something happen. They need to at least get the tower. Amumu going deep here. Uses his ultimate. Might get the Karma here. Elise is around the corner. And now... Oh my god. That was a little too deep. I'm sorry, Amumu, to say that. But that was not where you wanted to go. If you left your team alone and instead of getting the tower, they actually paid for it with a death. Meanwhile, Orianna, mid lane. Pushing happily, farming happily, getting further ahead of Gragas happily. Or rather, getting further ahead in CS than Gragas. Gragas obviously still 602. Alicia repelling up in the air. She's going to come right down again. Still a little bit of damage back and forth. And this time they're diving, and Lucian may actually be able to pick up that kill here. The explosive cast does. The AoE radius is big enough. That was very nicely done. Orianna now moving down here. The Lantern was there to get Gragas out of that tower a little bit quicker, but Orianna still getting here in time. The Flay comes out to prevent her from getting on them. The Shockwave comes out onto Lucian. The Shockwaves have been so good. And there's the ace in the hole. He still survives that with the barrier, but it's not going to be enough. He does go down afterwards. Now under the tower, Karma taking a lot of damage is going to go down here to Thresh. That was a very nice box. Plus death sentence, keeping her there under the tower forever. Now Amumu is around, and they may pick up another kill here onto Orianna. Just so much back and forth. Thresh survives with a play. Nicely done. Orianna goes down. More bashing away in the top lane. Both of these guys just trading as usual. But that's 11-6 in kills now. 26,100 gold to 24,000, 25,000. So 1,000 gold advantage in favor of the red team. 7-0 for Gragas. That is dangerous. If you pile all this money onto one guy, yes, he's dangerous. He's got an Athene's Unholy Grail. He almost has a death cap as well at only 18 minutes into the game. But if the blue team manages to shut him down, and they have good crowd control, they have a stun on Renekton, a stun on Elise, a snare, and a slow on Karma, the shockwave on Orianna, and the traps on Caitlyn. So they have the crowd control. And if they manage to lock Gragas down, or take him out of fight, or catch him out in a bad position, then the game could very quickly swing in favor of the blue team again. They spread their gold a little more evenly. 1 kill onto Elise, 2 onto Orianna, 3 onto Caitlyn, and that's really where they need to be. And Caitlyn has been doing pretty well for herself in that lane. She's gotten the Infinity Edge. She's only 2 CS behind, despite Gragas being down there a lot, and really fending for herself and making it count. And if she can put out a little more damage now with that Infinity Edge, maybe the next fights will actually go in their favor. If you're in the top lane, they may want to make something happen onto Rengar. Rengar uses his ultimate, is going to be able to walk away from that. Death sentence just hitting a minion. Both of these top laners now have their Sunfire Capes done, but Rengar also has the Kindle Gem completed, whereas Renekton only has the Ruby Crystal. Oh, Shockwave actually used in the mid lane. Renekton, Gragas going very low, and here under the tower, Orianna has to flash away the ultimate out of Amumu, and the explosive cast out of Gragas as well. That's going to be a dead Orianna, but the cocoon landed onto Gragas. Gragas is going to go down to Elise, 500 gold shutdown for her. She's going to love that. Is Amumu going to be able to get away? Renekton and Rengar, I don't want to see anything about you. Nothing's going to happen there. Mumu also going to get taken out. Now we can go back to top. Very nice 2 kills for Elisa. She was there a little tiny bit too late, wasn't able to save Orianna. Here's the kill, actually, for Rengar. Finally, he made it happen. Both of them ignited, and then the sustain was stronger. Inside the minion wave, they were all hitting Renekton. Renekton not able to survive that. And now a 10 CS advantage for Rengar, plus a kill. Plus, of course, the early assist that they got. That's the Spectre's Cowl done for Renekton, though. And as we look across the map, we have Elise actually doing a very sneaky dragon, and I really like that play. there wasn't really much else for her to beat on. Mid lane wasn't gankable, bot lane isn't really gankable right now. So she just goes over there, picks up a free dragon for her team, and that's really important. They're only 400 gold apart, these two teams. Every little bit counts, and if you're able to pick up a nice amount of global gold for your entire team, that's definitely something you want to do. Here's actually a smite ward around blue buff, and Mumu got it, and now Elise in a little bit of trouble, has to manage to get out of there. The death sentence over the wall is going to land. Karma not there on time, Elise going to go down, puts the blue buff onto Thresh. Now that's another dive. The explosive cast coming out. Caitlyn and Karma took a lot of damage. Are going to stay safe though. Orianna made her way down there. Looks like both teams just going to back off. I would expect the red team to keep pushing though and take that tower out. It's been living way too long. It's been an eyesore for them. They've tried many times. They've 4-man stacked, I believe, for the 3rd or 4th time now in this game. Just clear out this wave. Take out that last third of HP still remaining on the tower. Finally going to make it 2-1 tower wise in their favor. It's 14-8 in kills. They're about 800 gold ahead now. A little more. 1,500 after that tower. Renekton is trying to take out the top tower. Does manage, so it's 2-2 in towers actually. Just trading those. Orianna, of course, was split free farming mid, free pushing mid. Already has the Athene's Unholy Grail as well as a Blasting Wand, an Amp Tome, and Sorcerer's Shoes. Gragas, of course, finished the Death Cap and the Athene's Unholy Grail, so he's doing a huge amount of damage, 815 at this point. Of course, that is not something you want to mess with. Rengar picked up the Spirit Visage, the healing effects on him now even better, so he's going to be able to trade even better in the top lane. Here's the tower in the bot lane as well for Caitlyn. So the blue team is actually the first one to make it 3-2 in towers, closing the gold lead to only 200 again between the two. And if the game keeps going this way and stays this close, I cannot make a call who will win, because it will all come down to a single mistake, and Rengar will keep getting scarier and scarier as this game keeps going. But as I mentioned earlier, if the blue team manages to shut Gragas down or catch him out a couple of times, then those will be fairly easy team fights for them, because the rest of the red team just doesn't have the same amount of damage. Renekton here maneuvering himself into a dangerous position. He's at under half HP now. Rengar's still pretty high. He's going to be able to slice and dice through the minion wave though. Going to be able to stay safe. There is a 3-man stack from the blue team in the spot lane, and the Mumu may get himself caught out here. Pretty sure he wants to get around behind them, but there's an Elise in that bush, and they're going to find her, and now Thresh is really far out as well. They're going to go on to Lucian. The cocoon doesn't land though. There's the Mumu ultimate. Thresh going really low. It's going to go down to Elise. Culling coming out, not doing enough damage now, and now Mumu is low as well. Gragas finally in the fight. Did not hit his barrel, but the body slam gonna be enough, and Mumu survives as Elise goes down with a nice amount of assists to the rest of the team. Now Karma and Caitlyn have to back off. Rengar, meanwhile, moved over to the mid lane, gonna take that tower down. There was a shockwave out of Orianna, and now Rengar is gonna back off. Gonna stay safe. Picked up another tower for his teammate, 3-3. Oh, actually, he may not be safe, but Orianna wanted to kind of chase that a little bit. But he has to get back to his top tower, else he risks losing that. Nice amount of action here. Still only 800 gold between the two teams, despite it being 15-9. The the kill difference is so big, even so the game is that even, because there's 260 gold, 760 gold on Karma extra. But now Renekton here in a lot of trouble, not going to be able to get away from this. Gragas just going to hunt him down. Another kill for himself. That's nice. And this time again, 3 assists to the rest of the team. And that's really what they have to do. If they're already going to give all the kills to Gragas, they have to at least get assists onto the rest of the team, so the rest get fed as well. But there are now 2 Sunfire Caves, 1 on Rengar, 1 on Amumu for that red team, and that's really nice. There are Talisman of Ascensions on both Karma and Thresh. Those are really nice, just speeding up everyone on the team. And Karma, of course, has another speed boost on top of that. And here's Amumu. Does land the Banish Toss. Karma going very low, is going to go down to Amumu. He's going to pick up that kill. The question is, how safe will Caitlyn be? There's Elise coming down here as well, but 4 members of the red team. The Banish Toss lands. Is Caitlyn going to be able to survive this? There's the flash hook, but the hook hits a minion. The culling going to be enough. They do pick up Caitlyn. And there is, my god, the combination of crowd control is so huge. The flash over the wall out of Elise may just save her here. Banish Toss does not connect. But you know, that was a flash death sentence that missed. But then there's still the Banish Toss. There's an explosive cask. There is the Curse of the Sad Mummy out of Amumu to pick up the kill onto Elise afterwards. No, to attempt picking up the kill onto Elise afterwards. But so many skills here on everyone. The flash away from Orianna, very nicely done there. Would have gotten hooked by Thresh otherwise. More big items coming out on both sides of the teams. Lucian now picked up the Static Shiv and a Bloodthirster. Not going for the Trinity Force as I had thought earlier. Caitlyn, meanwhile, got the Phantom Dancer. I didn't really like that because now she's going to get scared. Next item she needs is the Bloodthirst to sustain herself a bit, or Last Whisper to chunk through the armor coming out of Renekton and Illumine. 3-man stack from the red team in mid. Spiderlings gets hooked. That's not too bad. Renekton moved down here though, and Rengar is still late. He's not there yet. He is moving down. It was a ward that spotted him, so the blue team also knows that he's incoming. As a hook lands onto Elise, oh my god, that's the sign to go in. The Shockwave is beautiful. The ace in the hole coming in as well. And Mumu all the way there in the front, not able to survive. Rengar now finally in the fight is focused down by 4 members of the blue team. Beautiful explosive cast, picks up the kill onto Orianna, and now the Culling came out, picks up Caitlyn as well. Thresh gonna go down to the Ignite here, but Renekton not gonna be able to survive. And that is a 3-for-1 exchange. 3-for-2 actually. Still completely worth it. Beautifully fought by the red team. Rengar was a little bit late, but they made it count, and they got out ahead very nicely in that fight. Elise and Karma now trying to defend this tower. It's a big push incoming. You know, Lucian still does a lot of tower damage even if he does not have the Trinity Force. And that was just Gragas was basically unharmed. He's low, but he's not dead, and he has a blue buff. That means in that fight, there was not enough focus on him, and even though Thresh went down, and Rengar, those are not the targets you really want to focus. Look at Rengar's items. He has a Spirit Visage, he has a Sunfire Cape, and he has Mercury Chest. Then a Pickaxe. That means he's mainly a tank with a little bit of damage. Probably going to go for that Hex Trigger or a Hydra. But he's not the main target to focus. As here, another Curse of the Sad Mummy actually wasted on Elise. Well, not wasted, but she dodged it very nicely afterwards. She does come back down from the repel, is going to die right afterwards, and that's going to be another dragon in favor of the red team. All of a sudden, they've just come out pretty far ahead. They've been team fighting really well here. They picked up nice kills in the bot lane, then a beautiful team fight there in mid, picked up another tower in the mid, and then now the dragon in addition to another kill, so 22-11. And what seemed like a close game before has already suddenly snowballed into a 5,000 gold lead in favor of the red team, 4-3 in towers. 11-1-7 Gragas. This is so huge. He's got the Void Staff already. He's now building towards his Anya's Hourglass. Already picked up the Secret Vanguard. That's going to be scary. Meanwhile, in top lane, we have Rengar picking up the Tiamat, looking to build the Ravenous Hydra. Now wants a little bit of damage after being so tanky already. Whereas Renekton, going for the Warden's Mail, going to look for that Randuin's Omen. Make himself even tankier. And Elise is looking to build the Abyssal Scepter. You know, many people have been saying that Sunfire Cape is really nice on Elise, especially early on. It's a nice snowball item on her. Makes you really tanky, makes you deal passive damage. It stacks with her magic penetration, and she builds magic penetration anyway. The Haunting Guys and the Sorcerer's Shoes already provide a lot. And then the Abyssal Scepter on top is definitely nice, because Orianna, of course, also does AP damage. But it's not the most crucial item, in my opinion. She should more likely focus on being tanky and just being a utility champion for her team. So we do have a disconnect out of Orianna. I hope she does come back soon, because 4v5, it's going to be really hard for the blue team here to hold on. Rengar and Lucian going to take out that top tower. Now Renekton in a whole bunch of trouble. Ace in the hole coming out. Thresh is around as well, and Renekton surely going to go down here. Did use his ultimate. There's a death sentence, and it's truly death sentence this time around as he does go down. Explosive cast, beautifully done, comboed with the Curse of the Sad Mummy, catches Karma completely unawares, and she goes down really quickly. Now there's a 5v3, 5v2 situation as Orianna, of course, still disconnected, and they're going to turn, make a run for Baron, pick that up for themselves. Really nicely done here by the red team, and they've just been seizing the advantages that they've been able to find, getting further and further ahead here. Now, taking down this Baron, and there's nothing Elise and Caitlyn can do here. It's a shame. But really, that fight was not won because Orianna had disconnected. That was not the main reason that happened. Karma was a little bit careless, got caught out by the explosive cast. Renekton, of course, in a completely bad position. The only thing that might have turned out differently was the Baron attempt. But here's another death sentence, not quite connecting on Elise. Was pretty close though. Nice try. Nice try. There's the last whisper now on Lucian. He's going to do even more damage. We have the Infinity Edge plus Phantom Dancer on Caitlyn. Now with Gragas, he actually goes very deep here. 1v2, puts down the barrel, picks up the kill onto Elise with the explosive cast, and even gonna stay. Oh my god, the damage onto Caitlyn. Lucian and Amumu just doing work there after Gragas had already taken out Elise. There's nothing that the blue team has right now to hold off this assault. Amumu just tanking up that tower, and look at it, he doesn't even lose health. He's got a Warden's Mail, a Sunfire Keeper, a Negatron Cloak. He's just so tanky already, and Lucian with a Bloodthirster and a Static Shift doing nice damage to towers. Gonna take that out pretty quickly there. Renekton now pushing the top lane. Rengar meanwhile still on the bot lane, meeting up with his team, gonna take out that ward there. Has the Raven, his Hydra finished, so he's gonna do a little more damage. Then added a Warden's Mail on top of that. Also gonna go back to the tanky route. Orianna sadly still not in the game, and she needs to come back here. They don't want to lose too much of this map right now. It's a 10,000 gold advantage all of a sudden, with 15 kills in favor of the red team. And we're not going to be able to save that tower. That makes it 6-4 in towers. But if Orianna doesn't come back soon, this map is just going to turn against her team farther and farther. There she is again. Luckily, finally back. But 10,000 gold is still quite the thing to overcome, as now Renekton is actually using the dominance to try and get away. Hook lands onto Caitlyn, and she's going to not quite go down. Maybe going to go down to Rengar. Rengar using his ghost here, trying to catch up. Oh, no, that was the Ignite. Something was out there. That was the Ignite out of Thresh. It looked weird. Sorry about that. My brain is half asleep. Nice barrel, though, and this is a big push onto the base of the blue team. Rengar going pretty low there under the tower. That sentence doesn't hit onto Renekton there as the frontline tank. The Amumu ultimate comes out. And Orianna getting deleted, and then Elise just evaporates. Renekton is the only healthy member here. Actually, Caitlyn's still pretty high health, but the tower went down. Renekton at about 5th of his HP. And Caitlyn loses about half her health from a single skill shot out of Lucian plus the double shot. Of course, that's going to be the middle inhibitor going down in favor of the red team. What more can they do here? They can rotate bottom lane. There's a big wave coming against them, but if they take that out, that lane will easily push in their favor. There's a big wave in their favor in top lane as well, so all they need to do is wait here. Lucian is going to try and pick up that red buff. Rengar may actually get cut out there. There was a ward in that bush, so he didn't know he had to back off. But Lucian is still around, just picked up a red buff. And now Renekton and Karma. Oh my god, Karma, that is not what you want. Lucian does so much damage, you're not want to stand in front of that. The culling comes out, the death sentence over the wall is surely going to spell death for Renekton as well. And it's just time and time again. It's chasing, counter chasing, chasing, counter chasing, another 2-4 exchange. The kills for the past couple of minutes just always going in favor of the red team. They've been able to dictate the pace of this game from a certain point on. It was really, really close, always in like 100 to 200 gold difference between the two teams, and all of a sudden it was like a switch. Elise here trying to catch up Lucian. She does do a nice amount of damage. The shot comes back from Lucian. He did use the barrier, kind of wasted it because Elise had just been gone. Does pick up the kill. 500 gold shutdown for her there. Very nicely done. And now Gragas, actually she flashes out of the explosive cast. Great reaction time there, and is going to be able to survive for now. Gragas gets hit by the cocoon, is going to back off. Is now Dragon was being started by Amumu. She stopped though, does decide, hey, I'm going to pick up Elise first. That's for me. Thresh getting an assist there, and now they're going to turn, get that Dragon of course for themselves. That's really nice. Nice little Dragon. Even more gold in their favor. Widen it to about a 14,000 something gold advantage. And even though Caitlyn now has 3 items as well, it's just not enough. Orianna has 3 completed items. Caitlyn has 3 completed items. Renekton has 2. Elise has 2. And then Karma has 1. This is not enough. The Mumu ultimate coming out under the tower. They're diving this. Shockwave was great, but it's not enough. A 1-for-1 trade so far. Renekton still very low. The death sentence lands. And there he goes very, very low. Actually, it's in favor, completely in favor of the blue team now. That was a 5v4 fight. And they actually trade 4-for-1, so the red team getting pretty cocky here. Lucian was not with them, and Lucian by now does do a nice amount of damage. Gragas was not able to do everything he needed there. So very nicely fought by the blue team. Baron is up in 2 minutes. Maybe they'll be able to contest that then. As I was saying, 3 items on Caitlyn. Now 2 on Karma. 3 items on Orianna. 2 on Elise. 2 on Renekton. And on the counter side, we have 4 items on Rengar. We have 3 items on Amumu. We have 4 items on Gragas. We have 4 items now on Lucian. And another 3 items on Thresh. And it's just these things that keep turning the tide in the red team's favor, despite some like little mishaps like that 4-for-1 trade just now. It's just like a pause button. The inhibitor is still down. There's still a big wave in top lane pushing in favor of the red team. Baron is up in a minute. Bot lane is also pushing in favor of the red team for now. It's probably going to turn tide soon. But they have an item advantage here, and if they go for another fight, they'll probably win out. And it's the sad thing here. The next fight will be at latest in about 1.5 minutes when that Baron is back up. There's a nice amount of vision from the blue team right now. 3 wards around that Baron pit. So that's the only thing that can save them. 45 seconds to Baron. Red team moving over there, trying to make their position, trying to strengthen their position. The first pink ward already went down. Cleared out the first ward out of the blue team. Oh, Orianna, this is very dangerous. You are going to get caught. The Mumu ultimate comes out as well as the explosive cast. And here's the fight. The shockwave comes out and they actually take out Thresh and Mumu very early on. The rest of the team was just not on the same page. Wasn't as deep, and Rengar cannot take out Caitlyn. And if this fight just is allowed, if these fights are allowed to happen and snowball against the red team, this might still be a long game after all. Wow. So very nicely done by the blue team there. They instantly knew what they had to do. They retreated, kept Orianna and Caitlyn alive, protected their carries. The peel was beautiful, and focused down the important targets. Thresh almost instantly vanished, and then Amumu is not tanky enough, despite the 3 items that he has. He's not tanky enough to stand in an entire 5-man team chunking on him. Really nice. In this case, of course, the Abyssal Scepter that I complained about before, but in this case, it's really doing work for them. Nice pickup there by Elise after connecting here. Gonna take a little bit of damage. Is gonna have to flash away. Big wave here at bot. It was a huge wave in top lane as well. There's a Baron dance actually. Oh, Elise, are you gonna go down to that? No, not yet. And there Gragas actually goes down in exchange. That was beautifully fought. He just got greedy. And this happens at the same time in the bot lane. The shockwave came out, and now Lucian is really low, and he's gonna go down as well. Rengar's still gonna get picked up here as well. And this is just not what the red team wants to do. They're throwing this game away. They're trying hard not to win this. Because, I mean, what are they doing? There's another command attack. Orianna now pretty low there, but she did still have her command shield. Command protect. Did keep her safe. And wow, just time and time again, the red team tries to make something happen, and they do so aggressively that they actually overextend. That up there, that was an Elise, that was a 2-man Baron attempt with Elise and Caitlyn. Gragas came in, thought he could easily pick off Elise, but Elise survived for the time being, then turned around, has a cocoon. Caitlyn, meanwhile, does a lot of damage. She has 4 items done. She has the Infinity Edge, Bloodthirster, Phantom Dancer, and Last Whisper. She's 7-3-7. Orianna now, 7-7-7. These guys have been allowed to farm up a little bit to get kills, and it's just been them positioning greatly. I mean, Orianna almost got caught out there in mid, but that doesn't even matter because she was then protected by her team. They've just been positioning well in the team fights and moving around, and the red team is so greedy that they keep overextending, keep overcommitting, and it's costing them dearly. Right now, this game is snowballing almost against them. The momentum has shifted a bit. The last couple of kills, the last couple of picks should have given the blue team a nice amount of self-confidence again, that they can win, that they can do something against this onslaught of the red team that was there for such a long amount of time. And we see 3 Randuin's Omens right now, 1 on Rengar, 1 on the Mumu, and 1 on Renekton, and they're going to be really the name of the game. Rengar uses ultimate here, trying to get in onto Elise. Elise and Karma still safe there. There's the jump onto them. The Talisman of Ascension came out, and now the rest of the red team comes around. The culling comes out. Elise is completely caught out here, repels up into the air, and might just be left for dead by her team. Yes, nobody comes around to save her. Of course, there was not much they could have done either. She instantly exploded, but that's going to be the call to turn and go for Baron from the red team. What can the blue team do here? They're currently 4v5. There are a lot of wards over the wall, and they're waiting. They're letting just Lucian and the Mumu do that blue buff. Caitlyn, very nice move, went over the wall there, and now Renekton is there. The Death Sentence lands on the Karma. This is going to be the go signal. Amumu peeling off from the Baron. Amumu going very, very low here, though, is going to go down. Renekton still at pretty high health. Caitlyn going really low. Nice explosive cast. Nice shockwave at the same time. Orianna also really low. Caitlyn just went down. And now a nice Death Sentence onto Karma. Lucian going to be able to pick up that kill. And now Renekton all alone. His entire team dead. Another Death Sentence lands, and he's going to go down. And that's actually a 1-for-5 exchange. An ace in favor of the red team. They're going to be able to pick up Baron on the back of this. Back in control. That was the way they've been fighting for the most part of this game. And they've been slipping up a couple times. This right here is as we have seen them for so long. Really what they needed to do here. That's the tide back in their favor. They've got Baron now. They've got confidence. They've got 4 members still alive. Amumu back up in 15 seconds. They have a decent stack of minions in the bottom lane that they have to clear out. Rengar already moving down there. And when he pushes that wave out, they can then assault the middle inhibitor of the blue team again. It's already been down once. We're at 41 minutes into this game. 38 kills to 22. 13,000, almost 13,000 gold in favor of the red team. 7-4 in towers. Very nice advantages. At least going for a sneaky dragon here. And Rengar thought about moving over there. Doesn't decide to do so in the end. So that's going to be a nice dragon in favor of the blue team. He's going to love that. Give our team a little bit of extra gold. They need it. They need it badly. The only way they can win this right now is if they pull even on items. Because, you know, as the game keeps going, at 60,000, 70,000 where we are right now, 80,000 gold into the game, most people are going to be approaching end builds. And then it's less about the item advantage and the gold advantage, and it becomes more and more and more about the gameplay, about who gets caught, who positions better, who does what. And at least finally spotted out that pink ward. Rengar placed it, I believe, 7-8 minutes ago, so it's definitely paid for itself. And she wasn't in any position to take it out right now, so it's going to live even longer. Here's the 5-man push onto this mid lane now. Are they going to be able to defend this? I do not believe so. It's a Baron up team. They're pretty fed. It's already half the inhibitor's health gone. Just a couple more shots. There it goes. Amumu with a flash bandage toss does not connect. Nice try. That's a flash down on Amumu. And again, Amumu isn't the most flash heavy at this point in the game. He wants to be the tank. He wants to be the front line. It stands there and soaks up damage. They take out the enemy pink ward. Put one down. Put a ward down in that bush themselves. Now the red team rotating down to the bottom lane. Going to be looking to keep up the pressure. They've just taken out an inhibitor, so the mid lane will push heavily in their favor. They've still got a Baron. They're 5 members. They've got the Amumu ultimate still up. They've got the Gragas ultimate, the Lucian ultimate, the box from Thresh as well. So 4 out of 5 ultimates are up and available. There's also a flash berry on Lucian, so he's safe. Oh, the explosive cast knocking Orianna backwards instead of into the rest of the red team. Nice try though. That was really close. So now only 3 out of 5 ultimates up, although Rengar's is almost back. It did push Orianna off the tower, so they got a little bit of tower damage. Not much more though, and siege continues. Orianna is already back with those home guard boots. She's really, really quick. And she's got really nice items right now. She's got the Death Cap, the Zhonya's, the Themes on the Holy Grail, and the Void Staff, whereas Gragas is at full build. He's got the same stuff as Orianna, plus the Lich Bane. There's a Shockwave actually onto Gragas, and Gragas were going pretty low here. That was really dangerous. Ace in the hole blocked by Rengar. And here might be a fight. The culling coming out. Rengar going to stay safe. There's the Talisman of Ascension from the red team. The Death Sentence. No, the Plague comes out first, and the box. Caitlyn going to be able to stay safe though, and now Amumu under the tower taking a lot of damage, and that's just a bunch of damage traded back and forth, and the red team in the end actually taking more than the blue team. The tower's still doing good. The hook lands onto Orianna, and this may be the death. Orianna with a beautiful Zhonya's Hourglass in the middle of the enemy team is going to get taken out afterwards. Renekton goes down as well, trying to protect her, and there's still Karma. Elise comes down from the rappel. It's a double kill for Lucian. There's a 3rd kill now from Renekton. The 4th kill, that was actually, it's a 4-for-0 exchange in favor of the red team. They're going to take the game here. They already took out the tower, are now on the Nexus stars. Another Death Sentence lands on the Caitlyn. That's a Death Sentence for her, and the Nexus is going to go down here in just a couple of seconds. GG, well played. Beautifully done by the red team. They had a couple of troubles, but they did pull through in the end and made it count for them. Wow, what a game. 7-2-13 Rengar, 7-6-18 Amumu, 16-3-14 Gragas, 10-5-12 Lucian. 2 people on the red team at full build. I do believe nobody from the blue team still, and that's really what cost them. If they had managed to be even on items, that could have been the thing to save them. But alas, it was not meant to be. Actually, 3 people on the red team. Thresh is at full build as well with the Guardian Angel. Banshee's Veil, Stark's Ziggy's Herald. And it used to be Stark's Fervor, that's why I was confused. Ziggy's Herald, the Talisman of Ascension, Mikhail's Crucible, and this Ruby Sightstone. I really like the Mikhail's Crucible, by the way, because it frees his team members from enemy crowd control, and there was a lot of enemy crowd control with that Elise Cocoon and the Renekton stun. So, beautifully done. Very nicely played from both teams. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will be doing more of these in the future. I hope you will come back to watch and enjoy.